Have you felt it? A relentless pressure, an unseen battle that rages not on a field of dust and stone, but within the very chambers of your heart and the corridors of your mind. Do you feel like you are constantly under siege, weathering storms that your friends and family cannot comprehend? This is not your imagination. You are not weak, and you are not failing. You are a chosen one, a divine warrior of light, and you have been fighting a spiritual war since the day your soul agreed to its earthly mission. The exhaustion you feel is battle fatigue. The confusion is the fog of war. But I am here to tell you that you were never meant to fight this battle defenseless. God has provided an arsenal, a suit of divine armor so powerful that no darkness can penetrate it. And today, you will learn to wear it not as a costume, but as your very skin. This is the sacred knowledge that will turn you from a weary soldier into a triumphant victor. So listen closely, for your deliverance is at hand. This warfare manifests in ways that the mundane world dismisses as mere hardship or bad luck. It is the sudden and inexplicable wave of despair that crashes over you when you are on the verge of a breakthrough. It is the chorus of whispering doubts that invades your mind in the dead of night, telling you that you are not good enough, that you are alone, that your purpose is a grand delusion. It is the technological glitches that occur right before an important meeting, the financial emergencies that drain your resources just as you begin to build momentum, and the sudden arguments that erupt with loved ones, seeded with misunderstanding and designed to isolate you. These are not coincidences. They are the calculated, fiery darts of an adversary who fears the light you carry and the destiny you are here to fulfill. The enemy knows your potential even when you doubt it yourself, and will stop at nothing to keep you small, silent, and shackled by fear and confusion. The primary target of these attacks is always your heart, for the enemy knows that your heart is the generator of your faith, your creativity, and your connection to the divine. The attacks come as betrayals that feel soul-shattering, often from the very people you trusted to protect you. These wounds are designed to build walls of bitterness and unforgiveness around your heart, to stop the flow of divine love through you. The attacks target your sense of self-worth, using past failures and the cruel words of others as ammunition to convince you that you are unworthy of your calling. This spiritual assault aims to harden your heart with pain or numb it with apathy, because a closed-off heart cannot receive divine guidance or radiate the high-frequency love that is your greatest weapon against the darkness. They want you to believe that your sensitivity is a curse, when in truth, it is the very antenna through which you perceive God's voice. The next battlefield is your mind. Here, the warfare is one of deception, illusion, and relentless psychological pressure. The enemy seeks to create a prison of negative thought loops, anxiety, and fear. You will be bombarded with scenarios of failure, loss, and humiliation. You will be tempted with the poison of comparison, scrolling through the curated lives of others to feel inadequate about your own sacred journey. This is a strategy of distraction and demoralization. The goal is to keep you so preoccupied with internal chaos that you cannot focus on your external mission. They want you trapped in a maze of overthinking and what-ifs, exhausting your precious mental energy on phantom threats, so you have nothing left to create the reality God has promised you. They will twist your own thoughts against you, making you believe that your divine intuition is merely paranoia, and that your sacred dreams are foolish fantasies. Understand this, chosen one. These struggles, these relentless trials, are not a sign of God's displeasure. They are the undeniable proof of your divine identity. You are attacked with such ferocity, precisely because of the immense power and light you hold. A candle flame does not threaten the darkness, but a blazing bonfire sends it scattering. You are that bonfire. Your very existence is a disruption to the low-frequency energies that have held this world captive for eons. The attacks are a desperate attempt to extinguish your flame before you realize you have the power to set the entire world ablaze with truth, love, and liberation. Every trial you have endured has not been to break you, but to prepare you. It was your training ground, your spiritual forge, tempering your spirit into a blade of Damascus steel, unbreakable, sharp, and ready for its purpose. Now, the period of your forging is ending, and the time for your victory is beginning. The revelation is this: you are to stop fighting this war with your own limited strength. You are to stop trying to reason with the darkness or endure its attacks with sheer willpower. You are being called to step into a higher level of spiritual technology. You are being called to consciously and deliberately put on the full armor of God. This is not a metaphor. It is a tangible, energetic reality. It is a suit of divine light, a technology of the soul, gifted to you by the Creator to ensure your absolute protection and your ultimate triumph. From this day forward, you will wake each morning and clothe yourself in this divine panoply, piece by piece, and you will walk through the world not as a target, but as an untouchable fortress of divine power. The first piece of your divine armor is the belt of truth. You fasten this around your waist, the core of your being. This is not the world's version of truth, which shifts and changes like desert sands. This is divine truth. It is the unshakable knowing of who you are, a sovereign, eternal child of God, created with a specific purpose. To wear the belt of truth is to live in absolute authenticity, to refuse to wear the masks that society demands, and to speak your truth even when your voice shakes. It is the anchor that holds you steady when the winds of deception blow. It dissolves confusion and aligns your every action with the integrity of your soul. When you are girded with truth, the enemy's lies can find no purchase. The whispers of "you are not enough" shatter against the solid reality of "I am that I am." It is your foundation, your spiritual center of gravity. Fastening the belt of truth means committing to a life of radical self-honesty. You must be willing to look at your own shadows, your own programming, and your own fears without judgment, seeing them not as flaws but as parts of you that are ready to be integrated into the light of divine awareness. It means no longer pretending, no longer people-pleasing, no longer shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. This belt energizes your entire being, for living in alignment with your soul's truth is the ultimate source of spiritual power. When you are fully integrated, when your inner reality and your outer expression are one, you become a clear and powerful channel for the divine. The lies of the matrix, the deceptions of the enemy, simply cannot compute in the presence of such radical, unshakable integrity. Your truth becomes a repellent for all that is false. Next, you will put on the breastplate of righteousness. This brilliant, impenetrable plate covers your chest, guarding your heart, your lungs, and your most vital spiritual organs. Your heart is the wellspring of life, the seat of your connection to God, and the primary target of every spiritual attack. The breastplate of righteousness is not about being perfect or self-righteous. It is about accepting the righteousness that is gifted to you through your divine connection. It is about living from a place of right standing with the Creator. This is achieved through forgiveness, forgiving yourself for every perceived mistake and forgiving all those who have harmed you, not for their sake, but to cleanse your own heart of the low-frequency venom of resentment. A heart full of bitterness is an open wound, an invitation for spiritual infection. A heart cleansed by forgiveness is sealed and protected. Wearing the breastplate of righteousness means making choices every day that are in alignment with your divine nature. It is choosing love over fear, compassion over judgment, and integrity over convenience. Every time you act with honor, every time you choose kindness when you could choose anger, you are polishing this breastplate until it shines with a light that blinds the forces of darkness. It protects you from the accusations of the enemy, both internal and external. When the accuser whispers of your past failings, the breastplate deflects the charge, reminding you that you are defined not by your past, but by your present connection to God. It allows you to operate from a place of emotional stability and unshakable peace, knowing that your heart is secure, guarded by a power infinitely greater than any force that can be brought against you. Now, you will shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Look down at your feet, the foundation of your stance, that which connects you to the earth you are here to serve. These are not ordinary sandals. They are divine boots, granting you supernatural stability and footing. The world is a chaotic battlefield, filled with slippery terrain, the chaos of news cycles, the turmoil of global events, the drama of personal conflicts. The shoes of peace allow you to stand firm and unshakable in the midst of it all. They ground your energy, connecting you to the calming, stabilizing frequency of God's peace. This peace is not the absence of conflict. It is the presence of God in the midst of the conflict. It is a profound inner stillness that cannot be disturbed by outer circumstances. To wear these shoes is to become an ambassador of that peace, wherever you go. You are not meant to engage in every argument or be swept away by every tide of collective panic. You are here to hold the frequency of peace. With these shoes on, you can walk into volatile situations and bring a sense of calm. You can navigate treacherous paths with confidence and grace, knowing you will not slip or stumble. They give you the readiness to move when God says move, to advance the territory of life, and to stand your ground when the enemy tries to push you back. You are a peacemaker, a waishwa, and your stability gives others the courage to find their own. In a world of chaos, the one who is grounded in divine peace is the one who holds the true power. Above all, you will take up the shield of faith. This is not a small, decorative shield. Picture it as a massive, full-body shield of radiant energy, vibrant and alive in your hands. The scripture says it has the power to extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Notice the word all, not some, not most, but all. What are these flaming arrows? They are the sudden thoughts of fear, the stabs of doubt, the pangs of anxiety, the temptations to give up, the whispers of despair. They are hurled at you constantly, designed to pierce your peace and set your mind on fire with negativity. Your faith is the supernatural material that meets this fire and instantly quenches it. It is your active, dynamic defense system. Faith is not blind belief. It is a deep, resonant trust in God's promises, God's protection, and God's plan for your life, even when your physical senses see no evidence of it. Holding up the shield of faith is an active choice. When a thought of fear enters your mind, what if I fail? What if I'm abandoned? You consciously raise your shield by declaring, no. God is with me. I am guided and protected. I trust in the divine outcome. You hold the shield by focusing on God's power instead of the size of your problem. It is a refusal to entertain negativity. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. The shield is powered by your attention and your intention. When you feel the heat of an attack, you must intentionally shift your focus to the truth of God's love and sovereignty, and the shield will absorb and neutralize the venom of the dart before it can ever touch your heart. Your faith is the currency of the kingdom. It is the conduit through which miracles flow. The enemy attacks your faith with such relentless fervor because he knows that if he can get you to lower your shield, he can wound you. He wants you to believe in what you see in the 3D world of limitation and lack more than you believe in the unseen reality of God's infinite abundance and power. The shield of faith is your declaration that you choose to believe the report of the divine over the report of the world. It protects your vision, your dreams, and your hope. When people mock you, when circumstances look bleak, when everything seems to be falling apart, you raise your shield high and stand firm, knowing that you are shielded by the very power that spoke galaxies into existence. Next, you place upon your head the helmet of salvation. Your mind is the command center of your being, and it is the most contested territory in spiritual warfare. The helmet of salvation guards your thoughts, your beliefs, and your consciousness. Salvation in this context is not just a future promise. It is a present reality of soundness of mind, wholeness, and deliverance from a mindset of fear and limitation. The helmet protects you from the psychological warfare of the enemy, the constant bombardment of negativity from the media, from society, and from the collective consciousness of fear. It filters out the lies and allows only that which is true, noble, right, pure, and lovely to enter your consciousness. To wear this helmet is to have the mind of Christ. It is to consciously choose your thoughts, refusing to allow your mind to be a playground for demonic suggestions. When a thought of worthlessness appears, the helmet recognizes it as alien and rejects it. When a thought of anxiety about the future creeps in, the helmet counters it with the assurance of your divine destiny. It is the renewing of your mind. You secure this helmet by immersing yourself in high vibrational input, uplifting music, sacred texts, positive affirmations, and prayer. You stop feeding your mind the junk food of fear and gossip. You are the sovereign gatekeeper of your own mind, and the helmet of salvation is your divine authority to deny entry to any thought that does not align with your true identity as a protected, beloved, and powerful child of God. This helmet is what keeps your eternal perspective secure. When the battle is fierce and you are tempted to despair, the helmet of salvation reminds you that the ultimate victory is already won. It reminds you that you are an eternal spiritual being having a temporary human experience, and that no weapon formed against you can prosper in the ultimate sense. It secures your hope, which is the anchor for your soul. It protects your sanity when the world around you seems to have gone mad. It is the peace of God that surpasses all understanding, guarding not just your heart, but also your mind. With this helmet on, you can think clearly, receive divine strategy, and maintain your composure under fire, acting as a calm and decisive leader in the midst of chaos. Finally, you will take into your hand the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. Notice that this is the only offensive weapon in your arsenal. The other pieces are for defense, for standing your ground and protecting your light. But the sword is for advancing, for clearing your path, for dismantling demonic strongholds, and for enforcing the victory that is already yours. The Word of God is not just the written text in a holy book. It is the living, breathing, creative force of divine truth spoken out of your own mouth. It is the divine decrees, the powerful affirmations, the sacred scriptures that you speak with authority and faith. The spoken word, infused with belief, carries the power to alter reality. When you are faced with a mountain of lack, you do not simply endure it. You take up your sword and speak, "My God shall supply all my needs according to his riches in glory." When you are battling feelings of fear, you swing your sword and declare, "God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." When you feel weak, you proclaim, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." This is not about empty repetition. It is about speaking with the full authority of a child of the King, knowing that your words are backed by all the power of heaven. The darkness cannot stand against the spoken truth. It must flee. The sword of the Spirit cuts through confusion, severs unholy ties, and carves a path of freedom and victory before you. You must train with your sword daily. This means knowing the promises of God that apply to your situation. It means filling your heart and mind with these truths so that they are readily available when an attack comes. An untrained soldier with a powerful sword is still a liability. A trained warrior knows precisely where and when to strike. You must become so familiar with divine truth that it becomes your automatic response to any attack. This is how you move from a defensive posture to an offensive one. You stop waiting for the enemy to attack, and you start taking back ground. You speak God's promises over your finances, your health, your family, and your destiny. You use your sword to clear the atmosphere of your home, your workplace, and your own energy field. You are a warrior, and your words are your weapon. Now, let us assemble this vision in its entirety. See yourself, chosen one, standing in the light of a new dawn. You reach out with intention, and first, you fasten the luminous belt of truth around your waist, feeling an immediate sense of alignment, stability, and authentic power. Then, you place the brilliant breastplate of righteousness over your heart, and feel a wave of divine peace and love wash over you, sealing you from all emotional harm. You bend to shod your feet with the shoes of peace, and you feel a profound connection to the earth and an unshakable stability, ready to walk your path with grace. You raise the mighty shield of faith, and it hums with power, a vast expanse of energy ready to quench every fiery dart. You place the helmet of salvation on your head, and your mind becomes clear, serene, and fortified, attuned only to the voice of God. With your defenses in place, you now grasp the handle of the sword of the Spirit. It is not heavy, but feels like a seamless extension of your own will. It glows with an inner light, a blade of pure, concentrated truth. You are no longer vulnerable. You are no longer exposed. You stand fully clothed in the power and might of the Creator. You are a formidable presence in the spirit realm, a walking, talking fortress of divine light. This is your true identity. This is how heaven sees you. It is time for you to see yourself in the same way. This is not an exercise in visualization. It is an act of activation. You are energetically stepping into the spiritual reality that has always been available to you. This armor is not cumbersome. It is weightless, for it is made of light and spirit. You can wear it everywhere. Put it on before you check your phone in the morning. Put it on before you step out of your house. Reinforce it before a difficult conversation or a challenging task. It is your spiritual uniform, the holy garment that identifies you as a member of God's elite special forces. When you are clothed in this armor, demonic entities see you not as a vulnerable human, but as a dazzling, untouchable warrior of God. They are confused and intimidated by your light. The frequency you emit when you are fully armored is one of divine authority, and the lower frequencies of fear, hatred, and deception cannot exist in its presence. Let's speak about how this armor functions in your daily life. When a friend betrays you, the breastplate of righteousness allows you to process the pain without letting bitterness take root in your heart. You can forgive freely, knowing your heart is secure. When you read a terrifying headline, the shoes of peace keep you grounded, preventing the world's chaos from becoming your inner chaos. When a sudden, unexpected bill arrives and the fiery dart of panic strikes, you immediately raise your shield of faith, extinguishing the fear and affirming God's role as your provider. The fear is neutralized before it can spiral into anxiety and sleepless nights. This is practical, moment-to-moment spiritual victory. When your own mind begins to attack you with self-criticism and doubt, the helmet of salvation acts as your divine filter. You recognize the thought, "I'll never succeed," not as your own, but as an alien projectile. You deny it entry. You reject the package. You then draw your sword of the Spirit and counterattack, declaring, "My path is blessed and prosperous. I am guided by God and I cannot fail." This is how you take every thought captive. This is how you dismantle the prison of your own mind and transform it into a palace of peace, a command center for your divine mission. You stop being a victim of your own thoughts and become the master of your inner world. Understand that the battle is often most fierce right before your greatest breakthrough. When you feel the attacks intensifying, when all hell seems to be breaking loose in your life, do not despair. Do not think it means you are on the wrong path. It means you are right over the target. It is the final, desperate assault from an enemy who knows he is about to lose significant ground. This is the time to reinforce your armor, to grip your sword tighter, and to stand your ground with even greater resolve. Your perseverance in the face of this intense pressure is what unlocks the next level of your destiny. The dawn is always preceded by the darkest hour. Your victory is closer than ever when the fighting is at its worst. You are not fighting for victory, you are fighting from victory. The outcome of this war has already been decided. Your role is not to win the war, but to enforce the victory that has already been won by the power of God. You are an enforcer of light, a divine peacekeeper, an agent of the kingdom. Your job is to claim the territory that is rightfully yours, your peace, your joy, your health, your abundance, your purpose. When you put on the full armor of God, you are stepping into that victorious identity. You are aligning yourself with the triumphant power of the universe. You are no longer a struggling soul hoping to survive. You are a mighty warrior destined to thrive. So I ask you again, chosen one, are you ready to stop fighting alone? Are you ready to lay down your own inadequate weapons of worry, anger, and human effort? Are you ready to be clothed in a power that makes you invincible in the spiritual realm? This is your divine inheritance. This is your birthright as a warrior of light. The armor has been prepared for you. It is perfectly fitted to your soul. All that is required is for you to consciously, deliberately, and faithfully put it on each and every day. Make it a non-negotiable ritual, as essential as breathing. Your struggles have carved within you the capacity to wear this armor. Your pain has given you the spiritual muscle required to wield your sword. Nothing was wasted. Every tear, every betrayal, every moment of despair was part of the divine alchemy that turned a simple soul into a spiritual champion. It is time to claim your power. It is time to step onto the battlefield of your life, not with fear, but with a holy confidence, knowing you are fully equipped, fully protected, and destined for a glorious triumph. You were born for this. Your time is now. Walk out into your day, not as you were yesterday, but as the armored warrior you are today. See the world through the visor of your helmet, with clarity and divine perspective. Feel the stability of the shoes of peace beneath you, grounding you in a world of flux. Hold your shield of faith ready, not in fear, but in eager anticipation of demonstrating its power. Let the light from your breastplate of righteousness shine forth, touching everyone you meet. Be conscious of the belt of truth, keeping you in perfect alignment and integrity. And keep your hand on the hilt of your sword, ready to speak life, to speak truth, and to cut down every lie that stands between you and your divine destiny. You are a beacon, a leader, a testament to the power of God. Go forth and shine. The world is waiting for the fully armored chosen ones to arise. It is waiting for those who walk in peace, speak truth, live from the heart, think with clarity, and act with faith. Your personal victory is a victory for the collective. As you learn to live in this protected and powerful state, you create a ripple of peace and strength that extends far beyond your own life. You give others permission and courage to put on their own armor. You are a part of a divine army of light, and we are all rising together. Stay connected to this channel, for this is your spiritual armory, your training ground. Subscribe now so you do not miss the next divine strategy, the next urgent message designed to equip you for your mission. We are in this together, and our victory is inevitable.